Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? Still trying to figure this damn thing out. Good Lord. So look, every now and then I will go back and read the comments under the videos and get back to you. I used to do it a lot more often. It's kind of hard to do when you're trying to keep up with the news and the news cycle turns every 2 seconds. So forgive me for that. But let's go through and read your comments and then answer any questions that you might have or respond to a comment. Before we get started, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. And if you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, head on over to our friends at Money Metals Exchange. The link will be down below in the description. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code PIMPYSILVER. Yes, it has changed. PIMPYSILVER. So if you're watching this video and it's an older video, make sure you check on current videos because the code is going to be changing from time to time from now on. Also, I can be found on other platforms. Everybody knows I have my own website, Pimpy's News Network. Over here, I post videos that I can't get away with over on YouTube. Also, I have a group on Facebook called Pimpy's Investment Chat. Over here, we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. Come on over here and join us. It's free to do so. You can also come follow me on Twitter, MeWe, YouTube, and Odyssey. The links for all these platforms will be down below in the description. So for whatever reason, if I get removed off of one platform, you could find me on the others. For those of you looking for my address, there it is right here. Go ahead and pause the video and write it down and feel free to reach out to me. All right, here we go. This is always entertaining. This is Mario, my brother Pimpy, one and only. I appreciate you, my brother, as always, and your honest opinion on all your information you share, which is worth its weight in gold. Amen. I appreciate the compliments, man. Seriously, you guys don't know how much I appreciate it. I don't think that people understand how much work goes into making videos. I used to think, oh, when I first started, this is going to be easy. It's not, because when I first started, I tried to just do little bits of information here and there. But as time went on, I was educating myself even more, getting more information. And the more I learned, the more I wanted to share with you. Sure, if you're half-assed about it, you can do some cheesy videos. But if you really want to get into it and do the right thing for people who are going to tune into you, then you really have to study. You really have to research and read. And so it does take a little bit of time. So I appreciate the kind words. I love her weekly reports. Big hug, y'all. Oh, I think you're talking about, I hope I say her name right. Shella, I believe is how she says it. Shella? Yeah. I've caught her videos a couple of times. I was looking at it. I like the way she is set up. Very professional. Appears to be like a very sweet person. So I thought I would just share. Somebody said to me, why are you so mean to all the other people? I said, who's mean? How the hell am I mean? People ask me my opinion all the time. I'll tell it like it is. The only time I might come across as mean is if you're one of these people out there going, Shambhala, Shambhala, God told me, God put it on me, stuff like that. Then, yeah, I'm going to say something. But I usually just say it once or twice and get away from it. And I don't want to get too involved with going back and forth with people. The only person I used to go back and forth with the most would be Jeff, just because he was entertaining, all right? So it's easy to do. But for the most part, yeah, I mean, I've heard Jeff in videos say before, why are you listening to anybody else? You should just listen to me. Me, I'm the opposite. I'm like, you should listen to everybody else. You know what I mean? You get a hodgepodge of information, and from there you just decipher what is BS and what isn't, You don't have to take my word for it. As a matter of fact, don't. Just hear what I have to say and then go do your research. You'll learn better that way. We all need to keep the faith and hold on to all our dreams in life's journey coming true one day at a time, all in God's divine timing. Amen. Yeah, absolutely. I believe that. A lot of people I notice are incorporating God and religion into the videos. And it's one thing if you're sincere about it. It's another when it comes across like you're using God and religion as a tool. That's different. And those type of people rub me the wrong way. I'm not a big fan of that. I have my own relationship with God. And those of you who've been listening to my videos for a while now know what I'm talking about. I try to avoid that subject just because I had this one pastor reach out to me after I made my video, and he wanted to talk. He started off really nice, but since my beliefs didn't line up with his, as I'm halfway through his sentence, he says, "What are you on, crack?" Then all of a sudden, I snapped and unloaded on him. I just kept scripture beating him, and literally Jesus had to walk over and just calm me down because I was so pissed. I said, "How's this guy calling himself a Christian just because he doesn't agree with me?" For him to go, "What are you on, a crack? Smoking meth?" I was like, "What?" Wham! And just unloaded on him. So I try not to do it too much. A lot of people do pick up my brain when it comes to God and Jesus and religion because I do have a different opinion. It doesn't always line up with a lot of other people, and I'm not here to try to be different or tell you how to think. Everybody's responsible for developing your own relationship with God and Jesus for the most part. So, and that's the one thing I encourage the people. Don't get wrapped up in religion. You should be more wrapped up in developing a relationship with God. So absolutely keep the faith. Everything goes on God's time is absolutely right. Thank you for the update. You are welcome. She actually does a good job. She agreed with my comment. You forgot the part where the new FM, I'm guessing you mean PM, says the rate is $14.50. Oh, FM, Finance Minister. No, that's not what the FM said. I don't know who told you that, or maybe you misunderstood. And I'm almost 99% positive it was just a typo. You got to remember, we went from 1,190 dinars for every dollar. It was devalued down to 1,450 dinars for every dollar. The rate's not 1450. What the 1450 is, you get 1,450 dinars for every dollar. That's what that is. So the FM rate is not 1450. I don't know where you heard that from. Maybe the person misunderstood, but that's not what they're saying. You got to remember, we went from 1,190 dinars for every dollar, and they devalued it down to 1,450 dinars for every dollar. That's where that 1450 comes from. It's not $14.50. It's 1,450 dinars for every dollar. So they actually went in the wrong way. We wanted to come back this way is what we wanted to do. You want that number to get actually lower. Robert says, I've been watching both you and her. Yes, very professional. Brando is another one to watch. Yeah, some of you might not know. I started off calling into Brando's show. When I was looking for information on the dinar, everybody seemed really phony and fake to me at the time. And I came across Brando and Miss April, and I really enjoyed them. They were awesome as a couple. The way they talked, they interacted with people, and I enjoyed it. And I called in once, called in twice, and then all of a sudden I was calling in regularly. And then I decided just to go ahead and move forward and get my own YouTube channel. It says, I know you and Brando went different ways based on beliefs. Yeah, I guess that's a good way to put it. Gold versus the dollar. If you guys used to listen to our show, me and him would bump heads all the time because I told him we're going to go back to the gold standard. It's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's going to happen. And he would argue that there's not enough gold in the world to cover all the dollars. And I was trying to explain to him, I think you're misunderstanding the gold standard. And we go back and forth. And sometimes it get kind of heated, but in a funny way. For me, anyways, I just thought it was funny. And then he snapped out something during the zombie apocalypse. Nobody's going to be using gold or something like that. He goes, what are you going to have? A bunch of golden zombies running around? And so what I would snap back is during our little spats back and forth, I would just yell out, Golden Zombie Nation. Just to get them ticked off, and people comment that down below in the comments. So I say Golden Zombie Nation. It's a funny joke going back and forth for a little while. But yeah, I was on Mr. Brando's. That's where I started off over there. I didn't know anything about YouTube. Anyway, I've been looking for information if they would change the currency due to past corruption, anything. I don't know about changing it because of past corruption. I can tell you that past and current corruption is one of the biggest hurdles that they're dealing with right now. Al-Sadini really appears to be fast-tracking whatever reform plans that Al-Kadhimi had put into play because it doesn't look like he's veered from them. He's a lot more aggressive. That's because he has a lot more support. But I don't know if they're going to change the currency because of the corruption. If anything, if they're going to change because of corruption, it would go in the wrong direction, and that's not what we want. Yo, Pimp, I think you just fallen in love with her. Oh. She's a beautiful woman. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Shella is beautiful. Pimpy not beautiful. Yeah. What do you mean?
I'm sexy and I know it.
LMFO, they used to come to our club. I used to be a club promoter and worked in a handful of clubs. I enjoyed it. I told people I lived my life like a rock star back then. I mean, a big portion of my life. And LMAFO would come into the club to perform from time to time. So it was a lot of fun. Have always liked her style. I realize she isn't CNN or MSNBC, but the lack of opinion is why I listen to her and no longer turn into the previously mentioned. This is why I encourage people to go listen to different YouTubers, because you might find one that's a lot more comfortable for you. Some people want more opinions. Some people want more education. Some people just want to hear the news without all the other stuff in there. Some people want it quick. Some people want it slow. So, you go out there and you find one that fits what you like the most. Oh, yeah. Bobby King. Man, it's crazy how many of you guys asked me my opinion on Bobby King. I mean, I came across his videos before too, but didn't think too much of it. And then I said, all right, let me watch a couple if I'm going to talk about this guy. And as I watched him, even just the simple things like saying hi and greeting and stuff like that, he was reading it. And I thought, well, that's kind of weird. And my first thought was maybe he's just struggling a little bit with English. I might be wrong. That might be a bad assumption. My thought was, is he so unoriginal that he has to write down his greetings as well? That would be terrible. Anyways, let's hear the comments. Thanks for the laughs, Pimpster. We need it in America. With leadership like ours, Bobby King is a bit of a bore. We look to you to keep us informed. I appreciate that. I don't care what he said. A lot of people are suffering. At least he gave us hope, praying that it will happen this month. If you're talking about Bobby King giving you hope, he's just reading the article. So if he said something beside that, then more power to him. It's a good thing. I think if people... As long as people aren't lying and blowing hope in people's butt and they're giving them legit hope, then yeah, I support that kind of stuff. He might have a great show, but for me, I need something fast and quick and to the point. After 20 years, I'm just need it short and sweet and to the point. That's what I was just talking about. He doesn't even give his opinion. He just basically just reads off the Dinar Guru site. No different than Melanie Hines and Khan Baba. I guess that's how you say that. It's all the same crap, useless info. In the comment section, everyone is praised for them to giving those fools intel. So yeah, 95% of those fools going to lose those wealth. Going to lose those wealth after it happens. I don't feel sorry for them at all. I've expressed this several times. I'm concerned about a lot of people that check out our videos. You can tell by the way they speak, or I've even spoken to a handful of people. And I said this before, no fan of, what that guy Simon is doing over there. Simon Parks, I guess his name, the cat-loving alien humper. I've had people so depressed, I've spoken to them on the phone, I could tell I was walking them off the edge. But rumor has it that, one of his listeners committed suicide because he made all kinds of promises about dates. And when it didn't happen, they checked out. So if you guys feel that upset about something, please don't hesitate to tune in or reach out to me and I'll call you and we'll walk through things. Don't end your life. I think people that kill themselves are selfish. They don't realize how it affects the people they leave behind. Can you explain the guru stringing everyone along and being under contract? Currency 365 said they were under contract. I don't quite understand. Yeah, I don't know who's under contract. Is he saying the guru's under contract? If they're under contract, that's interesting. I don't know anything about it. I heard of Currency 365 when I first was jumping around on YouTube, just checking stuff out. He was another one of those people I came across. But if he's saying people are under contract, can you get more information? Can he be more detailed? Yeah, what kind of contract? If you can find out what he's talking about and let me know, I'd appreciate it. But I don't know any gurus who are under contract. He might know something I don't know, but I don't know of anybody that's under any kind of contract. Hopian salesman, absolutely. But doesn't that define most gurus in dinar land? Isn't that why most people turn into like Mark Z, Bruce's, TNTs of the world? Although they have been saying the same thing for almost 2 decades. Yeah, some of these guys been around for a long time, man, a long time. And again, some of those people I went out there to listen to. I think TNT was one of these guys. I might be wrong, but I remember tuning into somebody and all of a sudden in this video he goes, if you want blessings, make sure you donate some money. I'm going to give you my address down below. Don't forget to donate. If you love God and you want to conquer sin, make sure you donate to me, all right? Because I'm doing God's work. God wants you to give me money. I was like, what the hell is he saying? I couldn't believe it, man. That was such a turnoff, and it was sick to my stomach because he looked sincere about it, and I'm sure there are people out there that will listen to him, and they will send him money. So I was like, nah, I'm good. But yeah, a lot of those people, I mean, you got some of them that are like, the numbers are on the back screen. You got to have your humanitarian project. You got to have your LLCs. You got to have your, the redemption numbers, the 800 numbers. I got my friends got the special code to release all the wealth to the world. Man, all that stuff. I was like, when I first heard it, I was like, are they screwing around or are they serious, man? Seriously. One of my favorite ones that one time said this about me. He says, I talked to the cabal, and they tell me that Pimpy is cabal. Pimpy is cabal. Benny. Remember that shit? I was like, what the hell? Yes. I heard this video before. He's like, I talked to the good cabal, and then I talked to the bad cabal. I talked to both of them. They tell me that Pimpy is cabal. God. Oh, my good Lord. Yeah. You know what it is? They don't like me, putting the truth out there. They don't want that crap to happen. It's kind of blowing their whole slick, whatever the hell they got going on. That's got to tell people, get receipts, man. Reach out to them. Where's your proof? What do you got? You're saying this. How do you know that? God put it upon me. That's the other thing I heard too. When I'm talking about things, you can see where I'm getting it from. I don't hide it. I put all my information out there so people can go read for themselves. Maybe it's something that I misread. Maybe there's a misunderstanding. But I leave my links usually to everything. Since it sounds like people don't want the truth, that is why they knock you. When you started to speak basic logic into the fold and state that there is too much dinar in circulation for an RV of $3 to $5 out the gate, they don't want to hear that. They want the lie. So Bobby King feeds them the lie. Anyway, that is my 2 cents. Peace, folks. I appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, look, at one time or another, one YouTuber or another came at me. If you've been around me for a while, when I first got started, and I was around 1,200 or 1,500 subscribers, it was told to me that Frank26 was using my information in one of his private rooms and passing it off as private intel. I was pissed, and I blasted him in the video, and I said, here's my thing. I don't mind that you use information. I don't care. I think we should all share the information. But if you're charging money for information that I'm providing, that pisses me off. Then he had the audacity to come on there and claim that he didn't get the information, even though I was able to prove it, which was embarrassing for him. But as he's doing the video, he said, and then I realized how many subscribers he had. And then he said, oh, this guy's too small. And then try to make fun of the fact that I have very many subscribers. And mind you, I was only in like my 4th week. By the time I got to my 4th month, I was over 35,000. And before YouTube yanked my channel, I was at 78,000. So nobody was that high. So I flew right past him like he was standing still. And then I couldn't help but respond because I'm the smart ass and go, oh, is he down there? Look how many subscribers. But that's how people are. They get catty. You know what I mean? Because if I say something and they go, well, wait a minute, Pimpy said this. Well, wait a minute, so-and-so said that. And I say, well, what's the proof? If I tell you that something's happening, I'll bring the proof to you. If they're going to tell you these things, then make them show you the receipts. That's what I always say. He's a hopium salesman, just like Melanie Hines, who reads articles from Mark Z and laughs without opinion. Yeah, I actually did an interview with Melanie. She's a really sweet person. And then I thought the interview was lost. I was editing it on my computer. And then I don't know what happened to it. It just disappeared. I looked for days for this damn video, and I was pissed because, we did this right before Christmas. And I will release it. I know it's later, way later. But, all of a sudden I'm going around looking for a picture that I had on my computer, and there's a video. I was like, what the heck? How did it get here? So I had to move it back over to where I wanted it. And so I'll finish editing it and posting. A lot of people, that's what they do. They just read the articles for the most part and don't have an opinion. They're just forwarding the information. I remember when Santa Surfing came out, she pretty much did the same thing, but her take on what she was reading, the way she was wording it, I was like, wow, that's how you're interpreting this? That's crazy. But yeah, it's, everybody's trying to do their own thing is what it is. I've been offered big time money from other YouTubers to jump aboard on their team and wanted me to mislead people. And I was like, I'm not doing that. At first, I was like, oh, we're going to make how much money? Wow, you want to pay me to come join your team? Okay, that sounds good. What's involved? When we started talking about it, I was like, no, I don't care how good the money is. And it was, trust me, you guys, it was really good. I was like, I'm not doing that. The one thing that people are not going to be able to say on here is that I'm lying or misleading people. I just don't, it doesn't happen. Why is everyone so negative? If we want the future, we have to keep our vibes up. I'm going to guess that you are saying, why is everybody so negative? If we want a future full of something good, keep your vibes up. How about that? Again, I'm a person that supports that. I believe in that. What you put out in the universe, you usually get back. And I've learned that lesson so many times throughout my life. And even with all my knowledge and the relationship that I have with both God and Jesus, it's such a great relationship. How can you mess it up all the time? Because I'm human and I'm a sinner. I never doubted that. So sometimes I'm like, yeah, man, I just can't get it right sometimes, That's part of my life's lesson. So watch a couple of videos of his, then I stopped because he was reading from the screen. Yeah, I noticed that in his glasses. That's what I noticed that he was also reading, hi, how are you doing? I was like, wow, he's actually reading that. Okay. Plus, how the wording from the screen he's reading on is definitely from the guru, from the dinar recaps. Yep. That's what I noticed. Most of the people, that's where they go to get their information. I don't think they realize that information comes from other YouTubers who are just regurgitating the same thing. So you have people atop of people regurgitating the same information over and over. Some people do it real spirited like. Some people do it in a different way. Some people misinterpret. Some people take it as gold and they run with it. So it's pretty scary. Which is kind of how I ended up reaching out to Melanie anyways, because somebody said, Melanie's talking about you. And I was like, what? And I went over there and she didn't say anything crazy. She just said, she was just commenting on something that I said that was in one of the articles. And she goes, Pimpy, Pimpy, Pimpy. I was like, what? She goes, negative. And I was like, I'm not negative. But, it was in all fun and games. I didn't take it personal. As a matter of fact, I reached out to her. We talked on the phone and then we did a video together. And like I said, as soon as I'm done editing it, because it's long, I'll go ahead and release it. But she's a sweetheart. She's sweet. She does her own thing. And, I just wanted her to know and have no hard feelings. I didn't take it as anything negative, And it was just, we had fun talking back and forth about it. So when I first got into this investment, I was reading for over a year faithfully, but that's what made me stop because I realized that the guru's written that article. He's reading plus. He don't post links or things he's reading from. I even asked him if he posted a link and where he's getting his information from and posted links as what he's reading or what he was reading. But it's definitely a guru mixing its words. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on out there. There really is. Most of them are, I got my special connection, my insider. Because if you don't say that, then how are you going to charge people? You want to lie to people and make them believe that you have something different than everybody else and that it's worth money. I love how they use the word intel. I get all my intel from a special person that's got a special handshake with a Dakota ring and a wand that they pull out their butt and sprinkle unicorn pixie dust on you. Somebody sent me a wand. I think I said this. It was a unicorn wand, but it broke. Man, I was so upset. It was broken. The water went everywhere. Me, man, when I talk about stuff, even when I used to do the Sarah videos, I used to leave the links because I said, look, this is where the information is. I don't want you to think that I'm just pulling it out of my butt, but there you go. I unsubscribed from him when he specifically said the HCL was the name of Iraq's national oil company. Yeah, what? No, that's not it. That's a hydrocarbon law. That's not the name of the company. He's a puppet. Someone's providing him with what to read, and he can't even pronounce some of the words. Yet he's supposed to know what it means. Get out of here. Dude can't even read. Again, you guys, I know. He's got an accent, and I didn't have a problem with his accent. I was wondering why it is he was even reading his greetings. I just couldn't understand that. I'm like, why are you reading your greetings? So, yeah. He said, Bobby Keem is a very nice guy. He appears to be. Your comment that good about Bobby Keem is not right. I didn't see anything negative about him. Not at all. You should be ashamed of yourself for talking about someone's character. You should apologize to him. He is a good person who keeps us informed daily. And no matter where that info comes from, you don't need to go into detail. The main thing is that you have copied it It does not come out. It is very wrong. You should apologize to him. Apologize to him? Well, let me say this. Bobby, if your feelings are hurt, my apologies. But nothing I said in there was mean. Nothing at all. People ask me my opinion. I say, he's another guru who's out there reading the information. One more video comments, all right? Don't they still have an outstanding arrest warrant or bounty, if you will, for Bush? Yeah, there is. I remember reading this, and this was years ago. The World Court wanted to talk to him, and he refused to go, and they told him that he had total anonymity, but they had questions for him, and they wanted him to come to the court to answer questions. Not that he would be arrested or tried, but they wanted the truth is what they wanted, and he refused. So he is wanted for war crimes. Harry Kissinger is wanted for war crimes. Condoleezza Rice is wanted for war crimes. Anything and everything to do with the Iraqi war, they are actually wanted for war crimes. I know Trump has an arrest warrant. They're claiming for war crimes for General Soleimani, but you have to know who Soleimani is to understand that him and Muhandis, who was the leader of Hezbollah over there, these guys were doing terrorist things against United States soldiers. So no, Trump was right to take them out. As a matter of fact, people have no clue how many heads of terrorist groups that Trump took out, not to mention terrorists, period. It's a ridiculous number. He took out 9 leaders of different terrorist groups, and somewhere in the neighborhood of, like the second in command or third in command, something in the neighborhood of like 700. Well, he didn't personally do it, obviously, but under his administration, Trump was serious about this. I remember when Obama came out and said, well, it's just our B League. It's just our B League. And ISIS grew under Obama. And we're like, what the hell? We had the strongest military. And next thing you know, they're driving around American-made Toyotas with modernized weapons. And then all of a sudden, Obama came out and said that, hey, they funded them, they trained them. I was like, why would you admit that? And he does. You can go onto YouTube and just put on there, Obama admits to train in ISIL. That's what they say. Remember, ISIL, not ISIS. But it took Trump all of 2-3 weeks to erase an entire caliphate? Yeah, that's a leader that's there for the American people. Says, I give you an A for effort when stealing Brando's and Jeff's subscribers. Well, I appreciate that. I work really hard at there, Carlos. For those of you guys who don't know, Carlos has been on my ass now for years over the same thing. Talking about stealing subscribers. I'm not sure how you steal subscribers. It's not like I go over there and go, ooh, I see some, and I grab them and I take them. You know what I mean? I don't know. But he says it all the time. It's funny. People always go, why don't you block them out, Pimpy? Oh, I got all kinds of trolls. I don't block them out because they're entertaining. Much better to put your face capture in the bottom right so we can read at the same time. Yeah, here's the funny thing is, I notice that when I'm reading the screen and I'm looking this way, when I put the video on there, it's like I'm looking off screen. So it's almost like backwards. And so I try to do it where I'm looking like this, but then I can't really see anything. So I thought, I'll just move it over here. But yeah, I hear you. I'll put it back. And if it just looks like I'm looking off screen, that's why. Okay. Gold is about to drop hard. Watch. Is it? Not sure why. Well, it's up $8 today. It's at $1,873. And you can see all the way back since the middle of October, it has progressively been going up. It was around it was close to $1,600. And then it's now at $1,873 and climbing. As a matter of fact, I just did a video today. It's not going to go down. You might see a little bit of a dip, but no, not going to happen. As a matter of fact, it's going to go up big time. 99 billion in foreign reserves at the central bank. Actually, it's above 100, man. I was pumped because that's one of those things you need in order to protect your own currency. As a matter of fact, you see Vietnam used a lot of their foreign currency assets to protect their own exchange rate. I've done videos about that as well. How about American gold-backed dollars? I stopped hearing anything about them. Well, I did. I showed you one today in the other video. But we're talking about gold-backed American dollars. Remember, Trump put Judy Shelton in there. We were ready to go back to the gold standard. But since the November 2020 thing happened, now we're on delay. Once Trump gets back in there, which he will, then we'll start that all over again. Dinar will not RV when Americans are holding millions of dollars in dinar notes. Big catch-22 with no solutions. So are you saying they're holding million worth of dinars or $1 million? Because dollars and dinars are two different things. Trust me, I've been scolded several times from Nate. I would call them dinar dollars. And he's like, no, they're not dollars. The US dollar is a dollar. That's a dinar. So yeah, if you're saying there's a lot of currency out there, here's the thing. I've tried really hard to do my research on this. The truth of the matter is we have no idea how much Iraqi currency is in circulation. I've read articles talking about for somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 or 6 years, Iraq was spending somewhere in the neighborhood of about $1 billion in their oil revenue, buying the dinars back and destroying them. I remember ear hustling the soldier who was telling his friend that when he was in Iraq, one of the craziest things he did is he had to log in their currencies as they destroyed it. And as soon as he said that, I asked him about it. I said, "You talking about the new, like the dinars that are today?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Did they say why they were destroying them?" He didn't know why, but their job was to protect the currency. And so he had to log in a list of serial numbers, and they were destroying it. He said they destroyed a ton of it. So how much, even though it says there's like, 157 trillion dinars that are in circulation, how many of them are actually in circulation? We know that ISIS stole some. Recently, underneath one of the banks, they found a bunch of packed up dinar that was destroyed by a fire. We know there was a flood that came through and wiped out a ton of dinar. We know a lot of it got stolen. So it's like, how much dinar is out there in circulation? That's one of the questions that I had. I know this for a fact. Iraq was trying really hard to figure out what is and is not in the hands of speculators and how many dinars are actually out there. Because during one of the conversations about changing the rate, they were concerned that if too much of the currency was in the hands of corrupt people, then they were going to wait. And that's what I've been saying all along. Now look at what happened. We just had it recently. The theft of the century. That's not what you want. You're not going to enrich criminals. That's why I'll say it. I said it before and I'll say it again. And I know it's not popular, but don't be surprised if they redenominate. And that is, say this currency is obsolete and you have to trade it in for the new currency. And at that time, if I was them, that's when you do the deletion of the zeros. Release the Seattle Kraken, Ginny Thomas. Yeah, man, that's when I found out she was doing the text. I was like, "Are you serious? She's really caught up in that. That's crazy." You should be on Trump's side. He's nominated as Speaker of the House. I'm a huge supporter of Trump, but there's been a couple of things he's done recently, and I've been trying to really just what it is he's trying to do. Like when he was supporting Kevin McCarthy later on, I just kind of put two and two together. It was his way of saying that, I have control of you guys. You guys got to go watch that video release, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, there's some things that he said. Taking swipes at Ron DeSantis, I think was a bad mistake, but it's neither here nor there. We still got just a little under 2 years of nonstop political BS all over again. He was nominated as Speaker of the House. The funny thing is, I heard about that a long time ago, that they were thinking about putting him in as a speaker. I would have loved to see that. All hell would have broke loose. The USD is the one world currency. Well, it is if you're doing trade, but it's not the one world currency. That's going to be the central bank digital currency, which you guys got to avoid that. Well, I was unsubscribed. I was listening to Jordan Sather talk smack about people that I agree with are CIA. But he was talking about the Nasera Click Pimpy. I don't know what Click Pimpy is. What is Click Pimpy? Where is he? I was unsubscribed. I had another channel called Pimpy's Investment Chat, and so it got removed because I said some stuff about parents of second graders, taking their kids to strip shows, and it didn't go over very well. So this is where I am now. That other channel is gone, but it's crazy. Somebody sent me to a link to where they have all my old videos. I was like, where the hell did this come from? But it's cool. Get rid of Trump. I don't know about that because I think he learned a lot since his first time in office. And I mean a ton. He's got to know that the main target has got to be, there's two number one targets, man. It's the media and our intelligence agencies. Because if he can't do something about them when he gets in office, he's going to have nothing but hell again. It's a whole other term. First time listener from Pikeville, Tennessee. Heard about you through Melindy's podcast. She said you're very knowledgeable. Thanks for all you do. You're very welcome. And tell her I said I appreciate that. Tennessee. I've been to Tennessee a couple of times. A very beautiful place. I was over at Gaylord's Resort, which is, oh my God. I think every human being should go there at least one time. It's this huge resort, and it's all in a dome. It's like indoor. It's got climate control, because when I was there, it was snowing, but it was like a tropical 74, 75 degrees in there, and awesome place, man. And you can literally do a pub crawl, because I did it, because they have so many bars in the resort. Never mind. Anyways. So that's my dinar recaps. You like how I stole that from the guys over there? Anyways, that's it for now, man. You guys, let me know what you guys think down below. When I have time, I will try to come back and answer the questions. But until then, that's it for now. I'm out.